Everyone, welcome to the Withering Effect first impressions of the 117 update. Today's date is October 3rd, 2020, and I am Duds, or Duds versus None to the rest of the interwebs.
And I'm Jimbo. You may know me as Jimbo Slice 23. We have with us Carl.
Hello, everybody. Hello.
It was a pretty cool update.
Yes. So many things to talk about. I don't know how we're going to deal with all of this.
They added so much.
Yes.
They kind of hit on some points. Duds. They fixed a little bit of inventory.
A little bit. I'm a little underwhelmed, but at the same time, I want to point out I'm in Mojang's head.
Yes, definitely.
How many times? I need someone to put together a list of the amount of times I guessed what was coming next.
Yep.
I think with the bundles, it's sort of, instead of with shulker boxes where you have 27 slots for different items, you have an item limit. So you can put 2 flowers in there and it doesn't take up a full slot. It just takes some of the item limit to that bundle. Now, they didn't say what the item limit of the bundles are.
Yeah.
But that'll be interesting to find out. But I think that is a good way of helping inventory. I don't know if it's the full solution to the problem, but, you know, it's a good start.
And I got excited and disappointed at the same time. So, like, when you hover over the bundles, right, you get that graphic where it kind of shows you what's in the bundle.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it goes back to me and Jimbo talking about 117 a couple episodes ago, where I mentioned that mod where you can see inside shulker boxes.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, that just proves you guys can do that. Why is that not in the game yet?
Yeah.
Maybe they'll do that with shulker boxes as well in this update. Mm-hmm. They didn't show it, but maybe, you know, as we start to see snapshots and pre-releases, maybe we'll get something for the shulker boxes with the same kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like they've said at the end, they're going to give us some time. Apparently in the summer of 2021 is when this will be released, so there's plenty of time for feedback, what we like, what we don't like, plenty of stuff they can add by then.
It's going to be the same timetable as 116, it feels like.
Yeah, it seems like it.
Yeah. I'm guessing June 20th.
Oh, no, we're on that already.
Oh, wait. Oh, okay.
We're not doing the bed already.
No. So we got some few new mobs.
We have, yes.
Yeah.
The first one was the obvious one, is the goat.
We all knew that was coming.
Yeah, I think he did a really good job with it. I didn't know goats could jump that high.
Same here.
Apparently they can jump really high, but I guess because they live on a mountain, they have to have some hops, apparently.
Yeah.
Well, what worries me is you'll never be able to make a pen to hold the goats unless it's got a ceiling.
Ah, that's a good point, yeah.
True.
They're just going to constantly jump out of there. And my uncle has goats or had goats. So I get they climb on everything.
Yeah.
But I've never seen a goat jump.
Yeah, they're just really good at climbing. That's all I really knew of them. And you got the animation where they ram other mobs. I didn't know they would interact with other mobs like that, but I imagine they would do that with the player as well. I think they mentioned that you have to be careful. They don't knock you off a mountain. But I kind of seen that animation coming.
Yeah. Aubni, I agree with you on this one that this goat might be really annoying, which is another reason why I'm glad the Chillager didn't win. Because could you imagine trying to climb a mountain just to be bumped off by a goat to get to the top of a mountain just to be killed by a thing flinging ice at you?
Yeah.
He'll freeze you and then the goat knocks you off the mountain.
Yeah.
By the way, I voted the Chillager, Iceologer, I think they were calling it. I didn't know the...
Bad Jimbo.
Yeah, I voted for that. I was kind of keeping it to myself, didn't want to put it out there. I always like the challenge of new hostile mobs. Granted, the Phantom is pretty annoying.
Yeah.
I voted Phantom, kind of want to take that back. But I'm okay with the Glow Squid.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what the Glow Squid can actually do, because we still don't have much information on it.
Yeah.
Right.
I think it was not as good to be voting for a mob that we don't know what it does. I felt we had more information on what the Phantom did than we do now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you kind of got some of the mechanics for that they spawn, if you don't...
You haven't
or
slept.
insomnia. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this you kind of... they glow and they're in the ocean. That's pretty much all you get. You don't know what kind of drops, which is kind of what had me vote elsewhere because I didn't want another. What if it just dropped ink and you're just multiplying the squids with some glow. It's kind of like a reskin, is what I was thinking.
That would be very disappointing if it turns out that they just drop in ink sacs, normal ink sac.
Right.
Very disappointing. So I hope that doesn't happen.
Yeah, same.
Well, we noticed a lot of things glowed in the update. They're giving you more light sources, so hopefully one of those drops can be dropped by the squid as well, something that glowed.
They gave us more light sources, but they didn't at the same time. The glowing berries on the vines, I thought was a really cool light source. I'm already thinking of ways I can use it, but there wasn't, other than the candles, which they didn't even talk about. You just kind of saw them there. There was no other real light sources. When I saw the crystal caves, I went, sweet, we'll be able to make a cool looking light source out of these crystals. And it turns out you can make a telescope. Guys, all of us use Optifine.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have that annoying circle in the middle that this is going to have.
And it's not going to take up an inventory slot.
Yeah.
Which I know you gave us bundles, but now there's another tool that takes up inventory slots. It's like...
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how much... I don't think I'm like too excited about the telescope either.
But hang on, we were talking about mobs and we're on a time limit, so let's go back to the Warden.
Yeah, the Warden.
I like the Warden.
Yes.
Very cool mob. Very cool.
I think it's scary as crap.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be extremely hard to kill, which is kind of what worries me. But it's in a location where you wouldn't really explore a ton. You might go down there to look for the little vibing block or whatever, and that's kind of it.
King Big Dogs was saying that he was wearing full Neverite armor, and that thing destroyed him.
It took him down to 3 hearts on one hit.
Yeah, those are definitely dangerous, and I like the fact that they have a different mechanic that they can't see, but they put in this vibration type of deal, like they can sense where you're about, and he showed that you could throw a snowball and distract them. I thought that was really cool.
Oh yeah, I thought that was genius because it gives a purpose to snowballs again. We already know that Jeb was working on combat update where you might be able to hold snowballs in a better position, that the animation was going to be different. So that's a really cool feature. The fact that you don't have to kill this mob, you can sneak around it if you're smart. Very much like this.
The last mob is it's a water mob. What's the name of that thing?
I couldn't even pronounce
nobody.
Axolotl?
Axolotl?
Axolotl? Axolotl? Something like that.
I think it's axolotl.
To me, they're sea otters.
Basically.
That's exactly how they act to me.
/ salamanders.
Yeah. They look like salamanders, act like sea otters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Axolotl.
Yeah, I like the fact you can have them roam with you in the water. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I would have never thought they would bring a mob
water
in that
doggos.
could... Yeah, pretty much like water dogs.
My only gripe is I said it when we did this. It's like, oh, you can have them go fight guardians for you. It's like, well, wasn't the trident supposed to make fighting guardians easier? Now I need a whole group of axolotls to come help me fight guardians again. It's like, fix your weapon balancing. It's been my biggest complaint probably for the last update, is that it feels like weapons just don't do enough damage.
Yeah, they touched on the combat update just a little bit. I always used to try it when it always helped me out. It wasn't a big difference, but hopefully the axolotls can make it a little bit easier. Besides that, what else? We got new blocks.
Yes, I'm excited for the what I call the shale block, which we saw in the Warden demo.
Yeah.
Didn't see a half slab version or a stair version in any of the caves, though.
It's going to be another whinging about stairs and slabs for the next year again.
Yeah. We know what we didn't get, and that's concrete stairs and slabs.
Well, here's my thing. You have the archaeology update, right?
Mm-hmm.
And remember, I said this when they were going into the first cave. I said, there's a stone block that's a different height than a grass block.
Did, yeah.
And I made sure it wasn't a path block. And then we see this archaeology update where this brush can move. It really only did gravel and dirt. And maybe those are the only kinds of blocks it can do it to. But I'm telling you, I saw a stone, or at least what looked like a stone at a different height. And if that's the case, now we could make custom half slabs if you can do that to every block.
Possibly, yeah.
You think the concrete powder it'd be capable to brush those?
I would have to think so.
Possibly, yeah.
It was dirt and gravel they did it to. I imagine sand.
Yeah.
You could do that with sand. See, I don't know if you can mine those though. You'd have to place it and then shave it. I mean, this is all the information we got so far, but
yeah, I wouldn't think you could mine it. I think once you start shaving it down and you were to have broken it, I think it should just disappear.
Yeah, it should break. I feel like it should break.
Yeah, they were like archaeology sites that are predetermined by the game.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you were to like not brush it properly or like stand on it or as you were brushing it or whatever, it would then break the actual artifact itself.
This is a pretty cool feature. I didn't see that coming.
Clay pots are kind of confusing to me. It didn't show that you could break them and pick them up. It didn't show them that you could move them. It just felt like they sat there.
I have to assume that you can.
Yeah, I think I mentioned that you can take them with you.
You probably need silk touch, but yeah, I would suspect so.
Yeah, but what could you do with them?
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like they're just decoration, right?
Seems like it.
Yeah. As of right now, there's not a use. At least they haven't mentioned.
Yeah, I'm kind of fine with that. I felt that more decorations like that could be cool. The size of the clay pot is a little extreme.
Yeah, but with all those artifacts to put on there, I guess it would have to be a decent size.
The archaeology stuff didn't really strike home with me. It didn't put any kind of excitement in there for me other than the brush and being able to maybe create half slabs out of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't something that like really spoke to me either. It was sort of one of the things they added that I just went, meh, looks nice, but I probably won't play with it anyway, to be honest.
Yeah, it's kind of like they wanted to please everyone, and this is kind of like for the exploration type of players, people that like to explore things and, find things that are rare items. I feel like they gave the community that. They also had somewhat of a redstone block put in there, and it detects vibrations.
And let's face it, anybody who's been watching Hermitcraft, the 1.17 update will now be known as the Decked Out update.
Yeah.
Because it definitely feels like they've watched Decked Out and went, oh crap, Tango's ahead of us again. First he did it with the Techtopia mod, and now he's done it with Decked Out.
Because that new redstone block is basically just a pufferfish player detector. It's the same kind of thing. Going back to the Warden just for a second, the fact that it can sense your movement is basically like Clank.
Yeah.
Exactly like that.
What else was down in those caves? There's a lot of different flowers, plants.
I'm good with all the vegetation. Not so much about the parkour flower. Anything parkour really doesn't strike me as great.
I'm curious of when you would use something like that. I'm sure people have ideas for it. It seems like parkour and map making is when you'd use them.
Map making, mini games, that kind of thing, you'd use that in, but you wouldn't use it in day-to-day Minecraft work. Yeah,
to me, it would just be a decoration block. It felt like a lot of this update really catered to the map makers and some of the parkour PvP crowd, which is fine. I think it works out great for them. They need some stuff added to their way they play, and it works for us in survival in the fact that it's a pretty looking block.
Yeah.
It doesn't have as much functionality for us, but yeah, I'm happy we have a lot more flowers. I want to know about that leaf that we saw on the tree in the first release. What they call that tree?
I don't know.
It's an oak tree with different leaves, but that had the flower on it. It's like a Azul tree or something like that. If we could take the leaves off that tree and replace them somewhere else, I'll be extremely excited about that.
Yeah, because they had like little orange...
I think they were pink or purple.
Something like that on them, didn't they? Yeah, so you could mix those in with other leaves in a custom tree or in a, like the foliage that's over your storage system at the minute. Mix them in with that, add a bit of colour.
It'd be perfect.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
And the glowberry vines, I think those might be one of my favorite parts of the update so far.
Yeah, it was one of the first things we noticed too.
Which is strange for somebody who yelled about inventory for an hour and a half last week. not choosing the bundles, but choosing the glowberry vines. I want light sources. I feel there's not enough in the game. Any new ones are going to be awesome.
Especially not enough ambient ones. It's ones that give, you know, it started with Soulfire, didn't it, in the Nether update, adding blocks into the game that give a different light level than just 15.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they have, is it 10 Soulfire has, I believe?
Yes.
Yeah, so these might have like a light level of 6. And then you've got things like the sea pickles. So the sea pickles that you can add 3 of them together to make a brighter light source, or you can have a dimmer light source. I think that'll be the same with the candles that we saw as well. That you'll be able to put 1 down, 2 down, 3 down to get different light levels and add more ambience.
Right, and when you looked at the candles, there were white candles and black candles. So you could tell there's different textures of candles. I wonder if they're going to do that for every color.
Hopefully.
Maybe you have to add a dye
to
the candle.
I like that.
I wonder if you're going to need bees to create beeswax or something with to create a candle.
Yeah. They also mentioned crystals. They give a little bit of a glow, and how you cannot take them with you.
Right.
They only grow on a certain block. That block can't be mined. Maybe it can be mined, but...
That's the other thing. If you can't mine it, is it like bedrock where you can't break it?
Yeah.
Or is it like when you break a block with the wrong tool, it just disappears?
Yeah, they said something about it being similar to like spawners that you would find. And I thought that was a cool idea because even they mentioned it gives you a reason to go back and forth from there. You know, not take it with you, but on your way back and forth, you can explore a little more.
What if one of those caves is in the way of your build and now you can't break any of those blocks?
Oh, yeah, that would be annoying.
That's my only worry.
I think it's going to be more you break it and it disappears than you can't actually break it. I doubt they're going to put...
I think so too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I doubt they're going to put something that in the main game that you can't physically break. You know, bedrock's at the bottom of the world, that's fine.
And you still break it.
Yeah, I doubt they're going to put something like that in a cave, just a normal cave. I don't think that's going to be the way that they play it, hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it depends how rare it is. I mean, you shouldn't have to worry about it if it's that rare. But, yeah, if, like my base, for instance, it goes all the way to bedrock, it would be, if it was that rare, would I really take it out, you know, if there's only so many?
Well, that's the other thing. Does TNT blow it up?
Yeah, definitely gotta look out and see what the mechanics are with the whole crystals thing.
Let's also throw it out there. The magma cube as a way to kill mobs is now gone. Let's face it, everyone's going to use spikes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Stalagmites.
Those are pretty cool.
Yeah, look, when something fell on it, it didn't destroy any items. The items just fell to the ground, so...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a very cool thing, and they said that, like, water drips from them as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they could fill up cauldrons.
Renewable water.
Yeah, but that's kind of... I mean, infinite water sources have been...
True.
I think it would be cooler to have a little station with a cauldron and one of these stalactites above it, dripping water into it. But question is, can you put a stalactite on any block, or does it have to be a stone block?
Yeah.
Good question.
There's like different biomes involved with the caves. I mean, they just mentioned caves, this cave, that cave. I don't know if they gave names.
Well, they said there were different biomes, but only mentioned one biome. Well, I guess 2 if you count crystal caves.
There's the crystals, stalactite, stalagmite things. There's also deep down where the wardens are. And there's also like the lush ones. Yeah, I feel like there's quite a few. But again, they didn't really give them names.
I feel like we'll see more and more different cave biomes as we go through the snapshots. We'll be seeing loads more of them. I think these were just sort of the ones that had the most sort of new blocks and new features in them. I think you might end up with ones that like have blackstone in them, or some of them that are mainly granite, or, you know, different block palettes. But I think these are the ones that have the new foliage and the new light sources and everything in them.
And let's not forget, we didn't know about bastions until about halfway through the 1.16 process.
Yeah.
I was like at the end, more towards the end, yeah. Well, I think brutes were the last thing they brought up. Actually, the update was out, I think, before they brought the brutes.
Yeah, that was 116 too, wasn't it?
Yeah. They also gave us a new ore, the copper ore.
Yes,
Um,
yes.
Now the blocks make sense for the ores to turn green, or the blocks to turn green, but I'm curious if there's a way to keep them a copper color.
I was going to say that too. I don't think builders are going to like that, because if I were to put down this copper colored block, I want it to stay that copper colored block, because I'm designing a build for that color, and for it to change to green. And it's not even a different green. It's a prismarine green. So it's a color we already have.
Yeah.
Yeah, it literally just... I'm just watching the little video they put on Twitter, and it literally just looks like a prismarine brick stair once it changes colour.
Well, and they mentioned it takes a while, but on that little speed up thing, that was like less than 30 nights.
Yeah.
When it turned green.
Agnes was saying, like, if you've got a really old Minecraft world, but yeah, like 30 nights is not a really old...
That's not old.
Old world, yeah.
I mean, maybe that's tick speed maxed out.
Possibly.
And then fast forward multiple nights or whatever to get it to do that.
It'd be cool if you could turn that tick off, like you do fire tick.
Yeah.
But then again, like maybe the weather could change it to that rusty green instead of time.
I was just thinking, like, if you look at that video and how it changes over time, but from the orange to the green, there's some stages in there where it's sort of like a little bit green, and it'd be so nice to be able to keep some of that in the build, keep most of it orange.
Patina.
Yeah, to sort of keep bits of it rather than it all going completely green. I wonder whether there'll be a mechanic to allow that to happen.
Yeah.
Maybe like a beeswax. Maybe you can combine that with your block.
Yeah, so you like painting preservatives over the top of it to preserve the color with some beeswax.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was my real big fear, because I love the copper color block. I don't know where I'm going to use it, but I like it. And then when I saw it turn to the prismarine color, I was just like, well, I already have so many variants of this same color. Even warped wood is that color.
Yep.
I don't need that color anymore. I want that orange copper. Why do I not still have concrete stairs and slabs? Now that I'm looking back on it, I'm not taking anything away from this update, but now we have new blocks coming in, and we still don't have concrete stairs and slabs.
Yes. They also, with the copper, you can make these lightning rods, and that can control where the lightning hits. If you don't have fire tick on, if you don't have fire tick off, your builds, either wood or wool, are susceptible of catching on fire from this lightning. Now the lightning rod can catch those, which is pretty convenient.
Just means charge creeper farms are back to being AFK now.
Yep.
Charge creeper farms.
And those lightning rods look pretty cool anyway. I could see myself using them in builds. They look really cool.
I'm curious if you have it indoors, if lightning can strike indoors, or if it has to be, maybe at a certain height, light or block level. I don't know what I'm trying to say. And be outside.
Yeah, it probably needs sky access for the lightning to hit it.
Right, yeah, that would make sense.
I'm just saying they mentioned bastions in last year's con. I don't know about it. I know we didn't get a glimpse of them till several snapshots in.
Yeah, I don't remember them mention. They probably did.
They may have mentioned it, but I know they didn't show it.
Yeah, they possibly did, but I don't personally remember it.
What are we missing, guys? They covered a lot. I mean, they brought up a little bit Minecraft Earth and Dungeons. Minecraft Earth is getting redstone, and Dungeons is getting a little bit of a nether update. They brought in, there's a couple things. We don't really cover that too much, but yeah, there's a couple updates for those as well.
We'll have to cover those on the main show, though. Let's focus on 117 because we have 2 minutes left.
Yeah, I think the thing we didn't see much of was the actual cliffs.
Yeah.
Of the caves and cliffs update.
Right.
I think there was one image, and then I saw it, and I went, well, that's normal terrain generation. I've seen bigger cliffs.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, in our public channel, in the Discord, Agent Paint put up a picture of the new mountains. I just noticed that.
The new mountains look great. They didn't do enough talking about them, though, for me.
Right.
Yeah.
We got a lot on the caves, not much on the cliffs.
Except the goats, I guess. But that was really it. There
Yeah.
was nothing more to them than that. I mean, we know we're getting snowier snow, whatever that means, but yeah.
It's a trap block that you'll fall into.
Oh, yeah, they did mention that, you're right.
I'm not excited this as much as I was last year. There are some things I think are cool, some things I think will be useful. Bundles are obviously up there in usefulness. The Warden is really up there in coolness. But other than that, it's like, yeah.
I was hoping they'd bring a little bit more ambience.
Yeah.
I mean, they have that pink flower that hangs on the ceiling. They said that does create some particles. You can move that around and take particles with you, apparently, which is cool. But I wanted more of an ambient feel, which they could implement that still. I love the generation of those big caves. How do you have those lakes in there?
Yeah, I was just going to say that big open cave that they were flying through in the very first video of the show, and that it had all these waterfalls and it had all these like nice sort of pillars in the middle of like stone and diorite and granite and that, and it was sort of like an area that you could like fly through really easily. I think that was really nice and more sort of open generation than what we have now with the caves. I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
I agree 100%, but I'm also going to be the guy who rains on everyone's parade. What's the first thing we do when we set up base camp in one of our areas? You light up all your caves.
Yeah.
To stop lag from all the mobs spawning underneath it. Now we have ginormous caves underneath. If you guys, well, for anyone who played on Commicraft Season 2 when we did the custom map, the caves underneath the ground were ginormous. And there was a ton of mob spawning happening under there. So I'm just going to throw that out there. I think that's going to stink a lot.
Yeah, I didn't think about that.
Yeah, very true.
Dun, dun, dun.
But the glow squids inside of those cave lakes.
That's why we voted for
are
them.
not going to help spawns.
Yeah, that's why you guys voted for them.
We're kind of out of time, and I don't want to talk too much in depth because we got an entire show coming, Wednesday, about that. We're recording Monday or Sunday night for me and Jimbo. But let's wrap up with your favorite thing from 117.
Okay, and 1 through 10, rate the update also.
Okay.
I'll go first. I'll give it an 8.
Okay.
Possible, maybe 8.5. My favorite thing is the Warden mob. I love new mobs. Any new mob is exciting to me. I love the Warden mob the most, just because its mechanics and the fact that they implemented that vibration mechanic. I think is my favorite part.
All right, Carl, what you got?
I don't have concrete stairs and slabs. It's getting a 7. I just can't cope anymore. It's a good update, but like you were saying before, I'm not as excited about it as I was for the Nether update. I still think there could be more to it. I don't think we saw sort of enough ambient noises. I don't think we saw enough sort of changes to the normal caves. It's still quite a lot of stone, quite a lot of granite and diorite. I think if we could get some dungeon changes, like I was talking about last episode,
yeah,
I think that would have made it a lot more. I feel like the update feels a little bit disjointed. We've got sort of a lot of the old stuff, but like this new stuff kind of shoehorned in. And maybe during the snapshots that will change my opinion once I actually get in there and actually be able to see it in person. But that's just kind of the vibe that I'm getting at the moment. There's a lot of cool stuff in there, don't get me wrong, but I still feel a little bit underwhelmed by it.
So what would you rate it?
7.
Gave it a 7.
What was your favorite part? Didn't answer like it
No,
is.
I didn't. I just went on a rant about stairs and slabs. My favourite part of the update has to be the glowing vines and the crystals and that. They're kind of different light levels coming off these new flowers and these new sort of light sources, but I just wish there was a little bit more of that and a little bit more sort of ambient noises and stuff.
Yeah, so I'm with Carl in the fact that I don't feel like this update excites me as much as the last update did. I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10.
Ooh,
above average, but I also remember saying multiple times leading up to this, I have no appeal for a cave update. I think caves are somewhere you go one time and light it up and then leave and never come back.
Yeah.
So I like how they were shoehorning mining and changing how ore veins work. I think that's great. But other than that, nothing really impressed me. I felt that they were trying to work on the inventory with the bundles, but I felt I gave better ideas on how to fix inventory that didn't even add an item to the game, and just being allowed to move the hotbar around makes way more sense to me. Yeah, I love bundles. I love the glowy vines. I think the warden is the best thing about the update. And I hate hostile mobs, but this is a mob that has a new mechanic. You don't have to just brute force it like you do every other mob. You get to finally be sneaky and work your way around it and stuff like that. So I'm good with that. Yeah, Warden's the best part. Candles, close second. I really wish they would have talked about mountains more, and I didn't see one stupid cliff. So, there.
Yeah, the candles might actually be one of my favourite things as well, because we just saw them off to the side, and they're sort of like sea pickles that you can use inside, and I think that's really cool.
Yeah, all for it. I love that.
Well, should I read us out?
Yeah, read us out. We're over our 30-minute mark.
Oh, is there something I read?
You asked to read us out.
Oh, yeah, I was just messing.
Let's just do it like this. If you like the show, let us know in Discord and stuff like that. It's a bonus episode anyways.
Yeah, first reaction.
You'll get a more in-depth normal episode on Wednesday that me and Jimbo will work on setting up for you guys.
Right. So drink your milk, right? Drink your milk.
Sure. Guys, have a great rest of the day. We'll see you Wednesday. Bye.
Yep. See you later.
Bye, guys.